Hello, Commanders fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss, so get ready because there's a lot of important information coming. Before we start, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Commanders show interest in Senior Bowl offensive line standout. The Washington Commanders are keeping an eye on the 2025 NFL Draft prospects, who stood out the most during the draft process, including the Senior Bowl, where they selected or signed 5 players in last year's draft. One player who made a name for himself at the Senior Bowl All-Star Game was interior offensive lineman Willie Lampkin of the University of North Carolina. Lampkin's name was first mentioned on day 1 of the Senior Bowl, when players were asked to check in and measure themselves. To everyone's surprise, the former Tar Heel measured in at 5'10" and 279 pounds. Willie wasted no time silencing those who criticized his size, dominating the top defensive tackles in the NFL Draft during practice week in Mobile. I spoke with Lampkin, who told me he had a meeting with the Commanders at the Senior Bowl, and it's easy to see why Washington likes him. Willie Lampkin is a player I could see getting the Commander tag from Adam Peters because of his mentality of competing for every rep, even with a size difference against interior defensive tackles. Draft Network's Justin Mello recently interviewed Lampkin and explained what makes him such an effective blocker. The former Tar Heel credits his wrestling background, which helps with his leverage, anchor, hand positioning, and footwork. He also told Mello that he's heard from teams that he could play center and guard, which is where he got all his college experience at North Carolina and Coastal Carolina. Lampkin finished with 1,712 snaps at left guard, 937 at center, and 1,473 at right guard. Film and resume speak louder than metrics for Lampkin, as he finished as the 5th highest overall guard in college football by PFF. Lampkin hasn't allowed a sack since 2022 and finished his polished 5-year college career with just a staggering 5 sacks. In his 2,156 career pass protection snaps, Willie Lampkin only allowed 8 hits, 32 hurries, and 43 pressures. He's a quarterback's best friend and as reliable as they come. It's encouraging to see players use the transfer portal as an opportunity to improve and challenge themselves with a step up in the competition. And that's exactly what Willie did with his transition from the Sun Belt Conference to the ACC. And he still played at an elite level as a run and pass blocker. It's easy to overthink prospects as April approaches, but for Lampkin, it's about controlling what you can control. And that's exactly what came across when I saw him dominate at the Senior Bowl. You can't teach size and measurements, but you also can't teach the competitive mentality and toughness that Lampkin plays with. Commanders urged to draft Hall of Famer's son to unlock offense. The Washington Commanders will enter the 2025 NFL Draft with 5 selections, a far cry from the 10 Dan Quinn and company had last season. That means there's a greater sense of urgency to get early-round picks right, with Jaden Daniels and his staff positioning themselves for another deep playoff run. With the Commanders' offense being one of the best in football last season, they added Deebo Samuel and then Laramie Tunsil as free agents to bolster Cliff Kingsbury's unit, but NFL.com's Bucky Brooks wants them to add another weapon. Speaking of path to the draft, Brooks wants LSU tight end Mason Taylor, the son of Hall of Famer Jason, to come to the nation's capital. They've already done a great job this offseason adding firepower on the perimeter, but I want to give them another playmaker, and that's Mason Taylor, Brooks said on Path to the Draft. Yeah, I want his old teammate to join him Daniels in the district so they can get that passing game going. Putting him with Zach Ertz, having a year together to serve as that apprentice. To me, that unlocks a lot of the potential of this offense. Taylor, who is coming off his best college season, 546 yards, 55 receptions, is a good move for two reasons. First, he provides another weapon for Daniels and takes some of the tight end responsibility off of Ertz. Second, as Brooks alluded to, he will serve as Ertz's replacement in 2026. Having a year to learn from Ertz before taking the league by storm with Daniels is a good plan of attack. Of course, going heavy on defense in the draft is also a good plan, as there are several holes in Joe Witt Jr.'s unit that need to be plugged. But with Taylor, the Commanders gain a real weapon this year who could emerge as a household name in year two. Commanders expected to add difference-making WR with 4.29 speed, while the Washington Commanders have revealed their strategy for a veteran-heavy 2025 season, which makes sense. There's still some consideration to be given to the future. The Athletic's Nick Baumgardner predicts the Commanders will add a player whose second-year quarterback Jaden Daniels can grow with, and they'll select Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden in the first round, 29th overall, of the 2025 NFL Draft. Golden may not only be a viable WR2 or WR3 option as a rookie, alongside Deebo Samuel, he could also be the player who eventually succeeds NFL All-Pro Terry McLaurin as WR1 in a few years. Of all the draft-eligible offensive talents in Texas last season, Golden may have made the biggest leap, Baumgardner wrote on April 7th. He's shown real difference-making speed and has the ability to win in any area of the field. He's shown WR1 ability to go along with his 4.29 speed. A good comparison for Golden might be Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy, another former Texan star. Worthy was the number 28 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft after setting the NFL Scouting Combine record with a 4.221-second 40-yard dash and ranked second on the Chiefs with 59 receptions for 638 yards and 9 total touchdowns as a rookie. Commanders may be set to recruit Golden. Golden played his first 2 seasons in Houston and had 1,125 yards and 15 touchdowns in 2022 and 2023, earning all Big 12 honors in 2023. Golden transferred to Texas for his final college season in 2024 and helped lead the Longhorns to the college football playoff semifinals with 1,272 yards and 9 touchdowns in 16 games, including 58 receptions for 987 yards and returning kickoffs. In 3 college seasons, Golden has scored 22 total touchdowns. NFL.com. Draft analyst Lance Zierlein compared Golden to New Orleans Saints wide receiver and 2022 first-round pick, 11th overall, Chris Olave, who had back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons in 2022 and 2023. Golden has the agility and body control to turn near misses into highlight reel catches, Zierlein wrote. Focus drops still pepper his game, but he's a willing participant in traffic and has taken over contested catches with improved physicality and catch strength in 2024. Golden's entry-level traits and big leap forward as a playmaker have him poised to become a productive catchmaker with the potential to develop into a WR1 in the future. Selecting playmaker late in the first round is a solid investment. The Commanders need to sign McLaurin to another contract extension before the 2025 season, which could be a 3-year, $90 million deal. Offsetting that with Golden for at least 3 years at around $3 million per year on a rookie deal is a dream scenario for any financially savvy owner or general manager.